Yes, a few more. Yeah, we're doing good. Hey, Yemi Buko, how you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, late afternoon.
Yeah, on YouTube and on Instagram. We never take it for granted. We appreciate you guys. You've kept us going, actually. It's well, definitely. Well, we're in the ninth month now.
Yeah, 33 Sundays.
Yeah, for something that was just meant to be, to occupy our Sunday evenings in lockdown. We don't know where this is going. I mean, we're actually thinking that we'll just wrap it up at the end of the year.
2020.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it's been a catalog of fun in many ways for us, and yeah, right. So while some other people are still joining in, I wonder where people are today. Is there something happening in town or the program on TV? But I guess people will join over time. Right. So last month, as you know, we had this series, quite an exciting series, I would say. And we had a lot of people um, join and even go on to watch afterwards. The Coffin Season series. So this time around, um, uh, okay. Thanks for
Thank
the
you. So a
for
few
the
people are saying that we should continue Blue Sofa.
yeah. No, I think now, Shade, maybe we'll
You
bring
become a
you on.
regular.
Yeah, we'll bring you on, yourself and Femi. You have your red sofa days. We'll do blue sofa. You do red
Have you
sofa
got red
days.
sofa?
Sorry, I don't know. They have to buy one. Yeah, right. So
Mhm.
yeah, so this December we've been thinking about another theme of sorts, really, and we've titled it "All I Want for Christmas." So has anybody heard this? So this is going to be very engaging, right? So we'll need you guys to engage with us. We need to hear from you. In a sense, see, one of it, I'll let you guys into a little secret, okay? One of the things for me about the blue sofa is that it helps me at times. Some of the conversations, so for example, I'll give you an example. Last week Sunday, when we had the guests we had on, and some of the questions that they were answering it, in very real ways, right? It made me understand, or it helped me connect better, because then I felt like, really, so I'm not alone thinking this way. So on the blue sofa today, as always, I want to hear from you guys, because you help us feel like a real connection in terms of the humanity that we
Yeah.
share.
And I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do it
Yeah.
live, isn't it? As opposed to videos. We like the engagement.
Yeah.
We want that to contribute. We want you to contribute.
Yeah. So we're gonna be asking some questions, okay? And the on and I can see some of my people that will give me honest opinion. So they're already logged on. They know themselves. I don't need to mention their names, right? So has anyone ever heard this saying? A dog is not just for Christmas; it's for life. Has anyone heard that saying before?
I think it was like a slogan that they had to put on TV a few years ago because quite a few children, or quite a few parents,
Yeah.
gifted dogs to their children for Christmas. But
Yeah.
then after Christmas, they would end up in the dog's home.
Yeah. Has anyone else heard that? Did anyone see that? Yeah, and when I thought about that, it just occurred to me that that is in a sense how a lot of people see Christmas. A dog is for Christmas. Well, they say, well, a dog is not for Christmas; it's for life. So, which means that it's not just about, okay, well, Christmas is coming now. What do I get my son or my daughter? Let's get her a dog. Well, even if there's no plan to take care of the dog beyond Christmas, so like Fumi said, the dog then ends up in a dog home. Now, for you and I, right, when you think of Christmas, what comes to mind? So this is where I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts on YouTube and on Insta Live. When you think of Christmas, what comes to mind? I just for this conversation, right? Please don't give me the church answer. Right? Don't give me the church. I know. Yes,
For those that are Christian.
Yeah, for those that are Christian, I know you're talking to a pastor, but don't give me the church answer. Give me your real thoughts. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you. Someone put food.
Yeah.
Family, games, memories.
Okay. All right. Better. Yeah. Shade, you. You. Why don't I believe that?
Oh no! Why not? Someone said the birth of Jesus first, then Christmas presents. Okay. Someone said family. Thanks for being honest about the presents.
Yeah.
Tradition, family, food, family.
Yeah.
So what does Christmas mean? Is it what does Christmas mean? What comes to mind when you think about Christmas? Family.
Yeah.
Parties. Okay. Christmas parties.
Yeah. No, people are here. You guys are. I'm feeling you guys. You guys are connecting with me.
So when you think about Christmas, what comes to mind?
Time up. Yeah. True. Okay. Yeah. What else? Anyone else? What else comes to mind? Please just share with us. One or two of my people online have not said anything, and I know that I think I have an idea what comes to mind for them. Okay, celebration and family. Okay.
Family. So family is one that's come up a few times.
Yeah. So hey, see, my people are coming out now.
Christmas presents.
Yeah, my people are coming out. Yeah. So okay. So Fumes, okay. So tell us what comes to mind when you think of Christmas.
When I think of Christmas, family, food, the opportunity to give gifts.
Yeah.
Expensiveness. Someone said expensiveness.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the family get together.
Yeah.
The food and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. What about for you?
Well, I think this is so. I'm about to come up.
This is the This is the preamble.
Yeah. So
for you, when you think of Christmas, what comes to mind?
I'll tell you now.
I think also actually the opportunity to give back that comes to mind as well.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. With you, I think so. Okay. Someone on YouTube said togetherness, forgiveness, happiness, and new beginnings. Currently expensive stuff. Okay. Happiness and gifts. I remember very, very clearly when I my first few Christmas Christmases, if I could say that, in the UK, because I was alone by myself. My parents and my family were in Nigeria, so I was very lonely. But thankfully, I had this Christian family that took me in over the. It wasn't like I was homeless, but they just didn't want me to be by myself for Christmas. So they hosted me, myself, and a few others for Christmas. And when I think of those times, they were a lot of fun. It was really always about, of course, the food, the gifts, and of course, they were Christians. So at the heart of it also was the fact that they're giving and sharing Christ. But then for me though, and this is why the theme of today is why I don't like Christmas, right? And in a sense, it's meant to be a pull, but it also bears an element of truth in there. And I'm being honest, right? Now remember, we had this. Was it the other day that we took a walk?
One of our walks.
Yeah, we took a walk. We went to the city center and we were just talking. It was nice. We were having a great time, just talking and all of that. And then my wife then brought up the idea of, okay, so what are we doing for Christmas? Who are we buying gifts for and all of that? And my mood just changed. Right? Now, they not because I'm against the gift, of course, I've done it for many years and I'm happy to do that, but for me, it took away something from that conversation. And I started to think about it, that why would the sort of Christmas, take away from a happy moment, And it dawned on me that for me personally, there's a burdensome side to Christmas. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Sister Dugwe too, yeah. Yeah. So there's a burdensome side to Christmas for me. And it's not so much in the giving of gifts, but more about the choosing of gifts, right? It's in the choosing of the gifts. And I spend a lot of time thinking about who do I give what and what do I get for this person and that it somehow I end up not looking forward to Christmas. Okay. Because I mean we're talking about this earlier on, right? And you were trying to figure out, okay, where we're going with this conversation. And I thought to myself, okay, as we started talking, and you yourself, you said, what did you say? You said something about the gifts.
About choosing.
Yeah.
No, I find it challenging trying to get gifts for other people because I don't want to get a gift for the sake of getting a gift. I want to get something that's going to be of value or is going to be used kind of thing. So it's not just for the sake of giving gifts.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge, choosing a gift or choosing something that I think would bless that person.
Yeah.
Is a challenge for me.
Yeah. So now that being a challenge, then how do you deal with that? Because for me, obviously, you eventually get the gift and all that. But does it preoccupy your thoughts in any way? I mean, do you think about it beyond just, okay, well, I'm just going to do this and that's it? I mean, how do you deal with that?
I think I'm just kind of maybe planning or do some research or whatever. And then just trying to think, okay, what do I think they would like? For some people, I may think about it on and off for a few weeks or whatever and think, okay, this might be most appropriate. So I don't see it as a burden. I just see it as something that I have to do.
Yeah. Well, let me put this in context, right? Before people start thinking, oh, Pastor Banks must be the Grinch, because I don't, I don't spoil Christmas, and I'm coming to what we're talking about, right? I don't, I enjoy. In fact, if my kids should hear me say what I'm saying, I'll be in trouble. Our Christmas tree is already out. I wish I could just swing the camera so you could see the Christmas tree. Oh, you could on YouTube. Those on YouTube can see a little bit of the Christmas tree to my right hand side here. So, but for me, I generally don't like shopping. One of the things that for those that know me, is that I say all the time that when I'm very comfortable financially, I'm just going to pay somebody to do my shopping for me. And we actually did that once where we got somebody to do our Christmas shopping for us. And so that is the reason why it's burdensome, because I'm preoccupied. Okay, what do I get for this person? Like you said, I hope this person likes this. And there's this price of analysis. Okay, should I not? Should we do this? And then we end up just giving the person cash. Exactly. So Shadi agrees with me that that's the stress for me, for her as well. So it then means that the time that I spend thinking about all of that, right? It takes away from the meaning of Christmas, or what it should really be about. So I found that over the years, right, Christmas has been hijacked, right?
Commercialized.
Yeah, so it's been hijacked by those with commercial interests, because of course, to be honest, I looked at it and I don't know how we got to this point, right, where it's become, those that gain the most out of Christmas is actually not is not Christ or the church or in any way. It is the shops, the Amazons of this world, the John Lewis and the likes.
But also like Christmas Day, there are some people that only go to church on Christmas Day and Easter. So that's an opportunity there as well, isn't it?
No doubt. There's an opportunity there. They go in, right? And I used to fall in, well, not just on Christmas and New Year, but I used to fall into that category whereby you just go in for occasions. But when you go in there, you're not thinking about Christ either. You're thinking, okay, well, this is what we do. We check in, we check out. But whilst you're in there, you're thinking about the gift, right? You're thinking about, the food that will follow. You're thinking about all those things, right? So, so like I said, I find that the whole thing has been hijacked or commercialized. And whilst it's good for people to be able to sort of share, gifts, right? It takes away from the real meaning of Christmas.
Or it can take away.
Well, it does take, well, it can't take, okay, it can't take away, but either way, it takes away from the real meaning of Christmas. And then what then obviously is the real meaning of Christmas? We're talking about Christmas, right? So again, we spoke about this earlier, and the fact that if Christmas is about love coming to her, God giving us a son, Christ, right, as a gift to the world. Okay, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Okay, now that is from the Christian's point of view. But I also understand that so that's the reason why Christmas is generally the type where people give gifts. Almost in a sense, kind of trying to mimic the giving of Christ, and so giving of gifts. But it's possible, and I think this is a question. It's possible for you to give without loving, but of course, it's not possible for you to love without giving. Okay. Now, and this is where I have another question for you guys. Again, we've been very real here. Have you given gifts over Christmas? You don't need to mention who, but have you given gifts over Christmas out of duty as opposed to out of genuine love and care for the person? So please, I want to hear from you. I just want to, I want, because my wife thinks otherwise, but I want to hear what you guys think. Okay.
So have you ever given a gift out of duty rather than out of love?
Okay, Queen says I pick a theme for my gifts and get everyone the same thing. Everyone the same thing.
You sneak in and invite to carols.
So Arika says yes, right? She's given a gift out of duty and obligation. Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Has anyone else given a gift on YouTube or Instagram? You've given a gift because, oh my God, I don't have a choice here. I just have to give the gift. Has anyone done that? Okay. Well, okay. Well, this is that. Not. Yeah. Okay. I don't give gifts to people. I don't care.
Just for the sake of fulfilling all righteousness.
See, someone said all the time. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, anyone else, please? Anyone else? It would be good to hear. Because you were asking me the question the other time.
Yeah.
So I would secret. Well, because you don't know the person and you're part of the.
Well, you might know the person. You tend to know the person.
Yeah, you out of duty initially, and this year it's going to be more for selfish reasons.
For selfish reasons, that's interesting.
I would like to know in what way. How can you?
Someone says this year they're giving gifts out of selfish reasons.
Yeah, I wonder how that can be. Yeah. So clearly, right? You can see my point. My point is that it's possible. I mean, as a Christian, right? There is, and when we say love here, we are called to love everybody. Okay. Now, but there is almost a sense in which there is a pressure to give gifts, even if you don't feel like you want to give this gift. Okay. On the side of the giver, right? So on the side of the giver, you're giving the gift because, I mean, how can I tell my boss, I mean, even if it's just a card or a little box of chocolates, everybody's giving gifts and I'm the only one not doing it. It's not because I love the person, but you might not have a particularly good relationship, but you do that. Even believe it or not, even in some marriages, right, where you think, okay, well, there should be at least some like real love here. It's possible for you to give gifts, and it's out of duty, not out of real sense of genuine care. It shouldn't be, but it's possible. So on the side of the giver, you can give without loving, right? But also on the side of the receiver, or where there's an expectation to receive, if you don't give the gift, you're also sending a message, right? And that's where the pressure piles on, because you're thinking, well, who do I not give gifts to? So as a pastor, as a pastor, for example, now I have a long list of people. I could easily give gift to everybody that are within my streams in ministry, right? But I don't have that kind of relationship. I also don't have the resources to do that. But it's possible that within that that framework or that system or that church arrangement, that there will be somebody that hasn't received gift from me that will feel they ought to have received gift. So then, where do I draw the line? How do I? So these are the kind of things that at times
stresses you.
Yeah, goes through my mind when it comes to the giving of gifts. So so then for me, the illustration that comes to mind, I'll give you guys an example, right? Particularly those that we've talked about how we see Christmas, and I did a bit of a Google search to find out what comes to mind when we think about Christmas. I'm sure it won't be surprising to you if you know that a lot of people actually share some of the thoughts that we expressed here. So a lot of people said, well, for them, Christmas is about the snow, right? So they're praying for white Christmas. That's what they're praying for, white Christmas. For others, it's about gift shopping, the idea of just going out and buying the gift and those sort of things. That's what's on their mind. Some other person talks about Christmas movies. Have you noticed on Netflix as well, all the Christmas movies have come out?
They want you to watch it.
Yeah, all the Christmas movies, they've all come out now. So Christmas movies, some person said baking, some other person said that when they think of Christmas, they think of snow sledging, or sledding, snowman, building, Christmas trees, decorations, and all this sort of stuff. Let me see. Yeah, someone said happiness, gifts, and lots of selfies and photos. So we are not alone when we think about Christmas in those sort of senses. But the example that came to mind as I was thinking about this, actually, has anybody been to a 1-year-old baby's party before, right? And you go to this party and you realize that, hold on a minute, surely this party is not for a 1-year-old baby. This party is just an opportunity for us to just, flange or have a nice, like, big, largest arrangement. You see the musician, they roll out all the drinks and everything. And the baby whose party it is not even aware of what is happening. Has anybody been to one of those before?
I'm sure many, not everyone.
Yeah. See, all the time, and I think the point is that, and this is one of the reasons why we actually don't celebrate. We mark their birthdays, but we wait till at least they are 5, for us to be able to have a meaningful birthday party, whereby for them it's not just, oh, you telling them, oh, you had a party when you were 1. But where they have a party and they actually invited their own friends, yeah, So the thing is, when you think about Christmas in that sense, in the sense of right now we are we are all thinking about this time in the year, but let's be honest, not a lot of us are thinking about the reason why this time of the year is important to us. You know, and that's the crux of this conversation that we're having now. So when I think about, so apart from the burdensome side of it, I typically look forward to just being able to relax and not do much over the Christmas period. In fact, believe it or not, there are some of the series that I've seen on Netflix. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to watch it. I'm like, okay, let me just wait till Christmas. The long, like 2 or 3 days that I have, and I know that back to back you can watch the box set. You can do all of that. But that can be why we celebrate Christmas.
No.
As Christians.
But I think as parents as well, it can be challenging to navigate how to maintain Christ at the center of Christmas as well. Because like in school or whatever, they're talking about Santa, leaving a plate for Santa, or expecting gifts, and so on. So it's a lot about the activity, the celebration, and not necessarily about Christ and Advent, and so on. I mean, like our kids go to a Christian school, so I think they do have some of that as well. But even in society in general, it's a lot about the celebration. And people celebrate Christmas, and they're not necessarily Christians, but they celebrate the season as an opportunity to either show love or have family time or whatever. So it's not necessarily that they're celebrating the gift of Christ. And I think it can be challenging to actually maintain that. And I found it kind of, I try to make a conscious effort to actually ensure that I'm thinking about the true meaning of Christmas, even in, as we're kind of coming into the season, as opposed to just kind of, I don't know, going with the flow, I guess.
No, you're definitely right. I overheard the conversation between Daniel and Bethel, our kids, yesterday, and Bethel was saying, was in that, it was during the Christmas, what's it called, the ball for the kids, Christmas ball, and of course the Santa was a black guy, so so she was saying, well, that's not real Santa. That's not real Santa, because again, we've been fed a certain script, right? So let's introduce Santa. Let's introduce this gift, and all of these are good. I mean, particularly the giving of gifts, it's all good stuff, and like you said, one needs to be careful how you embrace all of that. I think we need to be able to embrace the giving of the gift, but not so much, and not so much forget the real meaning of Christmas. So because for me, it's about not allowing all of it to be lost in it, wherein it ends up being the commercial benefactors that gain all the benefits there is to Christ or to Christmas. Because yes, there's a question that came up earlier on, that what then do we say about the fact that let me look at that
some
question.
of the things Christmas is rooted in pagan rituals.
Yeah. Now, that's also something that I've heard before. The truth is, I've kind of looked at the that argument, right? Whilst it may hold truth, right? It's possible that there's an element of truth there. But think about it this way, my mom, when my mom was born, I mean, uh, in the age and time that she was born, there were no proper record keeping, right? So which means that she didn't have a birth certificate. So, and this is my mom, right? She didn't have a birth certificate. So we well, she then chose a date that that we all celebrated till she passed, right? So the point then is that when that argument comes up for me, I don't allow it to I don't allow myself to be dragged into it, um, because I mean, unless the argument is essentially about, well, Christ was never born, he never existed. That's a totally different thing. We might as well pick they might any whichever day they pick is not as important as the fact that there's a day that marks the birth of Christ. Okay. And that date has been stuck with for many years. Okay. So it's not, I mean, research might back that up. It might be a fact, but I don't see that as an issue. You know, it still doesn't take away this point that we're making. The date is not as important as what it represents. You know, so when we mark my mom's birthday, we're celebrating her life, the gift that she is to us. You know, we're celebrating all this and giving it a lot of value. You know, and of course, she's not sitting there thinking, "Well, this is not the day I was born," or whatever it is. She's really just taking in all the celebration and all the value bestowed on that day. You know, and that is what it should be. You know, when Christ came, um, Christmas should really hold at its core the gift that we received as Christians, and not just, you know. So Christmas is not about a sin; it's about a person. You know, it's a person that has real life significance to our everyday existence. You know, so again, using my mom's example, right? It doesn't matter to me whether she was born in January or whether she was born in December. The fact that my life is connected with hers, right, gives me a reason to celebrate that day that we've agreed that we celebrate for her. And when I think of that day, I'm 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 full of gratitude, because if she never existed, then my life would not exist. So likewise, as Christians, right, what we're saying is, if Christmas is not about a sin, it's about a person, then we need to be intentional about ensuring that we keep that person at the center of what this is about. You know,
So so a question for you watching. So how can we keep Christ as the center of our Christmas period? So we're buying gifts, we're having family time, we're having time off. So how can we actually ensure that we're intentional about remembering Christ and celebrating the gift of Christ?
Yeah. So your response would help, even though we have some thoughts which we'll be looking at over the course of this series. But yeah, so what do you do? Maybe there are some things that you do that helps you keep Christ at the center. I think one or two people have shared their tips about how they get the gifts. You know,
I know. Thanks for the tips.
yeah, you know. So when we're talking about it earlier, you're like, why does it bother me like this? Because I'm not the one that buys the gift.
Yes.
Yeah. But even if I'm not the one that buys the gift, when you think about it, of course, aside of the buying of the gift, think about the budget for the gift as well. It's good, you know. But as long as, I think the key is planning it well in advance.
Yeah.
You know? So any thoughts or tips that you have to keep Christ at the center of Christmas?
Yeah. So how can we keep Christ at the center of Christmas? Well, for those that have children, how do you try to ensure that the meaning of Christmas is not lost with all of the commercialization? I saw something that Lisa posted I think last week or so, and it was like an advent calendar. So like, because so you get advent calendars, yeah, they count down to Christmas, and there's chocolate for every day. And so usually, Bethel and Daniel would get like maybe gifted one, and so we get. But I'm like, I wouldn't usually give them chocolate every day, you know. So I kind of was not looking very hard, but looking for an opportunity to actually have an advent calendar that actually shared the true meaning, rather than just chocolate. And so Lisa actually shared something that she does with her children, which is an advent calendar that is basically looks at the story of Jesus. And so that's something that practically we can do as a family, to actually count down. And also on the Bible app, they have like Advent Bible plans. So that's something that can be done to just, as we're running up to the Christmas period, ensure that we're actually reading things that remind us of Christ.
Yeah. Thanks for that. So anyone else with a thought to share about what you do? Okay, really good idea actually. So okay, did you post something?
I don't think so.
Or maybe she saw. Yeah, she saw Lisa's post. Okay, yeah. So, any other thoughts? I mean, when I was growing up, and whilst it helps to actually have a time of prayer, so we usually gather around
on Christmas Day.
Yeah, we'll gather around a little bit. I mean, and just have a quick sort of. As a child, obviously, it's not the
it's not the prayer.
No, it's not the prayer. You're like, let's just get over this and just get into the real.
Interesting. I was just thinking back actually that so as a family we didn't really sit together and eat. But on Christmas Day, it was like Christmas and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Was like the one day that we'd all sit around the table.
Yeah.
And eat together.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think just because of the business of life, So
no. Why just the Christmas?
Just Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is, like it's about family, so everyone's available. There's the cooking going on, and so no one's eating until everything's been put on the table and is ready. So we're waiting to celebrate to have the meal together. Whereas on any other day, it's just about who's downstairs.
Yeah. One of the things that I would say, I mean, I will never forget. I started off this session by talking about the family that used to take me in, also in for Christmas. You just mentioned earlier on that Christmas is about family. And what comes to mind, and this is what Christ would do as well. What comes to mind is, how about people that don't have family, right? Granted, you can't take everybody in, but and there's time that you used to volunteer at a homeless
crisis
for Christmas, yeah, but Christmas being about family for some of us, and we still do it actually, where we invite people over Christmas to spend Christmas with us, because God in Christ always cares about the outsider, the lonely, the person who's the scripture that says God sets the solitary in family, So as we're thinking about Christmas, perhaps it's something to also think about. Okay, well, if we're going to be home, can we create more space for somebody else, and also a gift for somebody else? I won't forget that experience. That those people actually invested in my life. Someone said I get Christian cards.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. So when you give those cards, the meaning is not lost.
Yeah.
In there.
Someone said, watch the nativity story and read the Bible story of Jesus' birth. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. That's good. So for us as a family, we tend to sort of do that, where we invite people in, because Christmas, as much as it's fun for most people, it's also one of the most loneliest of
Yeah,
seasons,
it is actually.
And you'd be surprised at the kind of suicide rate. I should have checked that rate, but it's quite, I think
It is, yeah.
it's
So
quite high
yeah,
over Christmas.
and actually we were speaking about it at work. So like someone had an idea of doing a Secret Santa, and just to have some Christmas cheer, because just to kind of lighten the mood at work. And so in our discussion, we were just thinking, actually, wouldn't it be an opportunity for us to come together and actually give to others? So like at work in our department, we're kind of collecting items for the local food bank.
Yeah.
And so it's just an opportunity to kind of give back to the community. And I
Mm.
think for me also, like whenever we think of gifts, I think, okay, what charity can I also give to in this season, so that there's a bit of community even in our gifting.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, Kumbi just said that because of Corona, of course, you can't invite someone over. But think about it, right? We do a lot of things via Zoom these days. In fact, it's probably cheaper,
No,
right?
but even through coronavirus, because it says three households, doesn't it? Yeah, so it kind of depends on the situation. So some people may not, but
Mm.
also if there's someone that lives alone,
Get them to do a test before.
no. If someone lives alone, they can actually form a household with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, so they count as one household. So it kind of depends on, the scenario. But because of coronavirus, I mean, so many people have been through such a lot, whether it's health wise, whether it's financial. And so this Christmas could even be more lonely than previously. And so, like if we can create an opportunity to reach out, if not by inviting them over,
Yeah.
by at least trying to engage them in some way, then that's something to do. I had an email from Premier earlier, and it was they're doing this. I think it says call 5 or something, and it's saying that we text, we WhatsApp message a lot, but actually a phone call can impact someone's day. And so it was kind of asking people to make it a plan to call 5 people that perhaps you haven't spoken to in a while, you haven't seen in a while. Just to reach out to them.
Yeah, no, that's useful. Right. Now, on a more light, I know this has been, well, we started on a lighter note, got into something a bit more, what's the word now? Slightly heavier, but thoughtful. But let's end on the lighter note. Can anyone could you just put in the group the worst Christmas gift you ever got? the worst Christmas gift you ever got it.
Do you know what yours is?
I get it all the time. I won't say.
Why? Okay, what gift would you rather not receive?
No. See, I don't want it to be. If anybody goes back to watch it, they'll be like, "Oh, I gave Pastor Brian this sort of gift." So please, just tell us what.
But you can't ask the question and not reveal.
No, I'm not going to reveal.
Are you serious?
So please, no, only because I care about the people watching, right?
But you love the fact that they've given a gift.
Yeah,
it's a blessing to receive a gift. You know?
Yeah. Someone talk about the Queen's birthday here. This is why the Queen.
That's true. The Queen's birthday is not her real birthday, but an officially agreed date. This is why the Queen has 2 birthdays.
Yeah, so
does that mean 2 gifts?
Well, she's blessed anyway. So back to this point, right? Please share with us
what's the worst
gift that you ever received.
Christmas gift that you've received.
Yeah. Fums, how about yours?
I'm trying to think now. The worst. I'm not sure. How do you define worst?
Okay. A gift that you received and you're like, there's no thought in this.
No, I don't think I've received anything like that.
Okay. This is not, as in, this is given out of, it's not out of love. It's just like, okay, this is duty. So anyone care to share? Don't worry. Hopefully, the people that gave it to you are not online. Right. So we're good to hear.
But sometimes I feel like for some people, like I may receive a gift and it feels like it's out of obligation.
But isn't that the point we're making?
Yeah, but like
someone said
a puzzle. Okay, so you don't like puzzle? Oh, from AJ.
No, I don't think.
Oh, that's AJ. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like if you give a gift, there should be thoughts into it, and it's not just something I saw. I think, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Someone's a second-hand puzzle.
Second-hand puzzle. Wow.
Okay. All right. Reaching out to one person in need and responding to that. Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Anyone else in terms
willing
of
to share
a gift that you received that you know that this is the worst Christmas gift?
You could say it's many years ago.
Yeah. Do you know? I mean, to be honest, I received quite a few like that. And you know that maybe the person has tried, because that's the other thing. Because you don't appreciate it, right? Doesn't mean that a lot of effort has not gone into it.
No, but like okay, the one that I'm thinking of, I know an effort didn't go into it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So there.
Okay. Right. So anyone?
No one's willing to reveal their worst gifts.
Because maybe
one person has.
Maybe it's too close to home.
Oh, what was the worst gift that you received for Christmas? That's interesting.
Or maybe no one has.
People are quiet today. Oh, maybe. Okay, what was the best gift actually? What was the best gift you received as a Christmas present? You're trying to do it. It wasn't that bad then.
No, clearly it wasn't bad.
What was the best gift? What was the best gift you received?
The best gift I received, I think, is money. The best gift I received is
because you can get what you want.
Yeah, and this is not a suggestion to. I mean, to be honest, for me, it's really the thought that counts, right? So, money is the easy one because, like you said, if you don't know what to do, then. But what I also don't like is I don't just like getting money from the same person all the time because it's an easy way out, right? Then okay, well, they don't have to think about me. They just okay, well, we just give him money. But I suspect that this year you would see a lot of money exchange or money or voucher exchange because people are not really going out to buy gifts per se. And you're not going to see the people to hand it over to them. So a lot of people will be trading the vouchers. Okay, send Amazon voucher to somebody, kind of thing. Yeah. So, but for me, yeah. So that is that. But let me see in terms of actual gift itself.
So, what's the best gift that you've received? The best or the worst gift that you've ever received for Christmas?
Yeah. Okay. So Shadi said money as well. Okay. Hey, Dafido,
money.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah. We're doing Minka. Good to see you, man. Right. Yeah. So anyway, let me see. In terms of the best gift, like I said, for me, it would be money. How about yours?
I'm trying to think.
Wow.
The best gift that I received.
For her, it was a concert
tickets that impacted her 10-year-old life.
Yeah, at the time. So that's powerful. A lot would have gone into that. Let me see. So you're still thinking about yours?
I'm thinking, yeah.
You can't think of the worst, you can't think of the best.
No.
So this again then proves a point.
No, I don't think so. Actually.
No. I'll tell you why it proves a point.
What's the point?
Okay, that
yeah.
mixer. Yeah. The point, you know what? I started off talking about a dog is not just for Christmas; it's for life. You see, a lot of us don't. The gift comes because it's almost a yearly thing, right? We don't capture. Gifts are good, but it doesn't hang in your memory as much.
No, but like sometimes I can easily just overlook things. So so you can't. I don't think you can judge others by
No, but
mine.
no, but it's not just others now. So of everybody watching, there's only one or two people. But
Yeah.
of course, what I'm not saying is, I'm not saying that we should give gifts and we should give more of it. You know, I think the summary of this whole conversation today is that whilst we're giving gifts, right, gifts are temporal, right? Whether good or bad, they are temporal. Let our focus be on the more eternal things, the gift of Christ, the life of Christ, what it stands to represent. That is the more, eternal, the gift of family. I talked about the family that took me in and all those sort of things. So it's really for us to think about this. Yeah, but you might say, okay, well, what if they don't need to come to my house? They're fine. They also already know Christ. Yes, of course. No, we're encouraging the giving of gifts. But we're just trying to say that the focus of this season should be about Christ. So I think that has been well stressed in a sense. We're going to continue with this series next week, bringing a different dimension to it. So thank you for joining
Thanks
us.
for joining us
today on the Blue Sofa, where we have real life conversations, talk about things that people are thinking about, and what the gospel, what the scriptures have to say about it. Thank you. God bless you. Hope to see you again next time, same time. Stay safe. God bless you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know.